Hi everyone, this is Kristen Burke. Welcome to my Module 3 presentation. I chose this week to create a recipe tutorial for sourdough bread, and that's mostly because I have just recently learned to make sourdough bread and I'm totally obsessed with it. So here we go. I did start out trying to use my own photographs for this slideshow, but I just could not get the consistency I wanted. So I deferred to Adobe Stock for all of the images in the project. Thankfully, I was able to find pictures that sort of represented each theme or instruction set. And the other advantage to using those kinds of photos is that I could standardize the sizes over in Adobe Express before downloading them and then importing them here. And that kept me from having a bunch of distorted images, which I have had issues with in prior projects. In terms of font or typeface choices, I selected a serif font for the titles in the presentation, as I just found them to be a bit homier and more inviting. I toyed around with some script and kind of fancy fonts too, but I'm still a bit reticent to use those in instructional projects, even if I do think that baking and bakeries and bread, do invoke that sort of fanciful homemade feeling. The compromise for me was to use a serif font like this one, which does seem homey as well. This is Garamond in a 30-point size, also bolded for these titles. And then to pair with Garamond, I knew I wanted a sans serif option. I know it's a bit more common to put the titles in sans serif and then do the body copy in serif, but I happen to like reading sans serif fonts a little bit better on a screen. And so I just thought it would be easier to read and a little bit clearer. And so I did go with that for the instructional part of the tutorial. This font is Verdana Pro Light, and I liked that it was clear, crisp, but still has that sort of warmth and friendliness to it, so it pairs well, I think, with the Garamond. In terms of layout, the layout of each of my slides is basically a three-parter. They're each the same. I have the title at the top left with the instructions just below that, and then a large image on the right. At first, I was kind of messing around with these slides and I tried different positions and adding additional components and icons, and I sort of made a mess with it. And I ended up thinking this clean approach was going to work best for me at my level. Each of the images that I selected do have meaning and relevance to the instructions. They show the main part of the action of each set of instructions. So even if they don't provide video precise guidance, they do still help the reader follow along with the action of the recipe. And they give visuals for some of these more difficult to imagine concepts like the bulk fermentation and the shaping procedures. They give a little context and help the reader see what that's supposed to look like. And actually, as I'm looking at it now, I do think that maybe a short video demo could help with some of the more complex tasks like the shaping and the shape and folds. But or the stretch and folds, if I did do the project again, I might consider adding some just very brief little video instructions. One of the fun but difficult challenges of the project for me was sorting through all of those stock images and finding things that sort of went together and were close enough to pass as being part of the same baking process. Luckily, I did find similar seeming scenes that could maintain that consistency. Overall, I had fun doing this project. It was hard, but it was satisfying, gratifying. And I do wish, and I continue to work on being a bit more creative with graphics and text. And I've seen some of your all's projects, and they're so cool and so creative. And I hope to start feeling more and more comfortable with those design elements. I look forward to hearing your feedback and your suggestions for future revisions. And thanks for watching. Bye.